Yo guys, another PTR patch update in the last 1.5 or 2 weeks or so. This is the third, marks the third one, and I've already been spoiled a little bit on it. Well, actually, it's right there. This is going to go live on April 15th, and it has a lot of interesting, meaning, a lot of interesting consequences, because my Warcraft streamer invitational is happening on April 18th and 19th. This is happening 3 days before it. Now, if we were 100% in esports, bread and butter, we rely on our income for this tournament. We are pro gamers trying to scrounge by tourneys. I would say, wow, that's a little capricious to get a patch to go live. And they do say it's a plan, so I guess we could object to it, maybe. Because they've been really reasonable, Blizzard, recently. They're looking a lot at community feedback and so on, and I really think they're steering the ship in a very good direction. But anyways, this is 3 days before, and it could be problematic for an esports event. However, we are also a content esports tournament. It's a bit hybridic, kind of like OnlyFangs WoW. I personally like this. I think it's super pog, super exciting to have the tournament happen 3 days after the new patch. Because all those cool changes that we saw in the recent patches, some of them are going to make it in, some of them won't. We're going to see it on a big stage. It spices things up. Now, for these new players, the streamers, the game is new regardless. So for them, it's a little cruel. But I don't mind being a little cruel for them. First of all, they may not even notice the changes. Secondly, we will. There will be a lot to talk about. So I think it's exciting. And insofar as it comes to coaching the 8 respective players, this will have a bearing on it. If this goes through, we will have to prepare them and say, hey, this Pala rifle thing you're doing right now, probably not going to be that good 3 days before the tournament. And look at Dota 2, by the way. Very popular esports scene. Very beloved developers. They drop their patches whenever. Sometimes mid-final, sometimes a day before the tournament. I'm not saying it's perfect great, but for viewers, it's super exciting. There's many perspectives. The former pro gamer in me from 20 years ago says, how can you do this? But the event organizer here says, yeah, boy. Okay, with that in mind, let's go to the next step. There's also been a small update to the tournament lineup. If you want to read more about it, you can check my Discord announcement. T90 recused from the event. He was replaced by Sing Sing. Basically, time constraints with AoE 2 events, lack of time to prepare, and not liking the game as much initially because of the pressure and because it's kind of new to him. And we 100% don't mind. We forgive him for it, and I'm super grateful that he supported the event with invite accepted. I wish him all the best, and there's no hard feelings. And anyone that makes drama out of it, I will ban you everywhere that I'm a mod. Okay, so a lot of love to T90. He gave up his spot early on to someone else, and I think Sing Sing is very happy to be in the event. He just got announced. It says anonymous? Oh, it was anonymous, not anymore. He's going to replace, and he's going to play human and replace T90. Okay, back to the patch notes. Our biggest thanks to everyone who participated in the PTR and provided feedback. For any tournaments currently underway, it will be up to you to decide which version you will continue your tournament on. Right. Because I'm guessing they will update the previous patch to the PTR, right? They could just flip which one is live. And then you could keep practicing. Cool. Item, slow. Orb version. Ayo! Ayo! Item slow orb version. Ayo. Changed to be based off of Shadow Strike. Aish. Instead of slow. Aslow. This is beyond my pay grade. I don't know what this means. Let's just move on. Vampiric Potion, no longer in the drop pool. Okay, I think that's probably safest. Same with Rune of Lesser Healing. Oh, perfect. Sentry Ward Vision, it was 1600 for item and Witch Doctor. It was dropped to 1000. 1000 was laughably small. And thought maybe it should be a little bigger, like 11 or 12. It's 12. I think that's great. I think that's great. Reverted Siphon mana range. So instead of from 800, 600... to go to 700 and 500, 500 being start range for Siphon and 7 being break range. They're going to keep it there for now, maybe because they're worried about doing overly many nerfs to one strategy, and maybe they're going to address it differently. Let's see. Orb of Slow proc chance reduced from 30-15% to 25-10, 25 on unit, 10 on hero. It's no longer dispellable or stealable, the slow debuff. So before, I guess it was just applying a version of Sorceress slow. And now it's going to be like actual hero-based effect, which makes sense. It now stacks with Sorceress slow. Oh, shit. What? That means 55 plus 25, 70%. And I guess, oh, it stacks because it's a different source. It really was Sorc slow. By the way, in case you're wondering, is there any precedent for this? Yes, there is. Not Obama. It is Frost Arrow from Naga also already slows with things like Dryad Poison. So there's already stacking slow in this game, unlike in HOTS. Okay. Holy Light cooldown increased from 5 to 5.5. I see. Holy Light cooldown increased. So the sweet spot between 5 and 6 is it? I think it can help. I feel like 6 was maybe fine as well, but this will still help. A 10% CD increase gives you a bigger window to kill Rifle or Blood Mage. Very often it was exactly that much time that made the difference between kill or not. Note the HUD does not support decimal cooldowns. Will display the cooldown as 6. Okay, I don't agree with it anymore. I think this is creative. It's a creative solution, but more creative would be to update the HUD that it could show it. That feels off. When it says the HUD, does it mean the cooldown timer that goes on the ability? Or does it mean them saying the cooldown is 6 seconds? Or do they even say it? Oh, it's just the number timer? Okay. Well, that's okay because it will start at 6 and then start like in the middle, I guess, of 6. As if it's half a second down. Maybe it's okay. Wait, this is the chance to proc. Don't get it twisted. Oh, yeah, you're right. Wait. Oh, okay. Thanks for correcting. Yeah, I made no sense when I said this. When I tried to add duration, proc chance to slow amount. That made no sense. Thank you, King Durestrix. My editor will cut it so that I sound intelligible and not confusing. Right? So, how does 55% stack with 55% slow? Does it mean that your total movement speed will be like 21%? I guess 21. Flamestrike mana cost reduced from 135 to 125. Okay. Wait, where are the banish changes? But I thought those banish changes were pretty good. Is this it? Full changes at the bottom? Oh, okay. All right. So it's all updates. Those are unchanged still in... Okay, we'll go to the full changes soon. We'll just look at the updates now. So the banish is still 420 cooldown. Okay. Flamestrike mana cost reduced from 135 to 125. I think that makes sense. Vent deflection chance reduced. Okay. I saw a Reddit post that said... By the way, don't take this for gospel. I saw a Reddit post that said that 3 Asian pro gamers felt that defend on the net could be buffed. Like it could be in a buffed state if released, as previous PTR note said, which is cheaper, faster, but weaker. Some people felt it's a buff because of the timing advantage. Might be true. This makes it weaker. That would support their position, but I don't have enough opinion on it yet because I haven't tried it. Orb of Lightning damage against... And by the way, I think I'm going to do show matches with Knopf tomorrow night where we try PTR. I will try all 4 races and he will play Orc. We're going to do some show matches because it's good for me to try the PTR and kind of show some of the changes and learn them. Because it's 10 days till the patch, so if something is wildly out of whack, I hope to offer feedback on it, and hopefully Blizzard gets to see it. Orb of Lightning damage against summoned units increased from 150 to 200. Okay. I need to see it with all the other changes in the list below. I'm just going to keep going through it. Wind Riders are slower by 10. This is with them being 3 pop, I believe. Or 3 pop XP worth, not 3 pop. I feel like Wyverns are already pretty slow. Sentry Ward Vision also 1200 for Witch Doctor, okay? Next, Night Elf. No more 80 lumber for Hunter's Hole. No more reduction for Nature's Blessing. No more Moonstone becomes 35 or 45 or anything. It stays at 30. No more Mountain Giant is 6 pop. It remains at 7. However, upgrade Moonglaive cost increased from 100, 150 to 125, 175, plus 50 total. Moonglaive research time goes from 35 to 60, but they're keeping the heavy armor component. They really want us to try that out. And in order to make them feel or seem less oppressive in mobility and catch and creepjack and murder in offense, they make them slower so that they become slightly less of that and slightly more of a regular tank when they get it. And Chimera from 250 to 270 instead of from 250 to 290. So before they listed 270 to 290, but the real speed was 250, so it would have constituted a plus 40. But they meant for it to be plus 20 move speed. I think that's okay. Undead, reverted ritual dagger, charges and cast. Cripple mana cost reduced from 100 to 90. Is it only 90? That's so cheap. It used to be 175. It's only 90? Did you know that you can get negative auto attack damage if you get Howl of Terror on you and Cripple? You actually start hurting yourself. Please use Necros already. Yeah, they feel really good. Melon incoming. I should try this. They're begging people to use it. This is crazy, okay? Frostworm, air attack now has an area of effect. Oh my god, it never did? I didn't even know. Did you guys know? I thought Frostworms just have an area attack. I didn't know it only applied to ground. You didn't know that? No, I didn't know that. I'm not some Frostworm master. I knew it since the beginning. Prove it. Yes, I was mad about it like 15 years ago. How are you doing now, Ivil? You could have been VIP, Excalibur, instead of Mod. This splash damage will only affect enemy air units. Yeah, of course, of course. And wait, does it slow all the enemy air as well? It's damage now. It means it also slows all the air. That makes them significantly better against enemy air. We might get some Worm Rash soon. I feel a Worm Rash breaking out. Frostworm, ground attack, splash damage will no longer affect air units. Right, you have to at least pick. Frostworm, ground, and oh my, this one is huge. I will say their range is utter garbage at 300. It looks like Dante's is back on the menu, boys. Dante's meta. Yo, wait, let me send this to him. Okay, disease clouds spawned on Abomination Death no longer have collision. Wait, what? There's no way you couldn't walk over Abomination disease clouds. There's no way. It always had collision? Until now? I mean, I need to test this. I'm sorry, but there's no way that's true, right? Surely. It was small. Am I learning things from Blizzard about Blizzard's game? You never noticed walking around them? No, but I did that because I don't want to get sick. Of course. So, if a lot of abominations die in a small area,
my life for Nazul,
then it becomes impassable terrain? That's crazy. What the fuck? Dude, what is this? What? Oh my god! That's terrible! Coded as a unit, by the way. I didn't know! Should I even be coaching anyone? I don't believe this was always there. Yeah, it's probably a recent change. I think so. Well, thank god they're finally changing this. This was really ruining my game experience. No, but for real, great change. Good stuff. Yeah, it must be true for meat wagons as well. It's great. No, I think this is great, guys. This is fantastic. Okay, all changes. Okay, what is the grand sum total of the changes? So the sentry wards are going to be 50 health, 1200 vision and magic immune. Healing wards have 2 charges as an item. The radius has been shrunk by 10%. Healing wards are magic immune, still have 5 health. And stasis wards are going to have... These are items, of course, okay. Ring of Protection 4 is gone. Now it's 3. It's cheaper. Backpack shop requirement is removed for all races. Orb of Dorkiness now summons level 2 dorks. Ancient Django of Endurance and Doomhorn are better than before.
Disease Cloud, didn't get it.
Yeah, Disease Cloud is coded as a unit that has collision, so you cannot walk to the center of the Fart Cloud. But they're gonna remove that so that you can walk through Fart as much as you like. Orb of Fire is replaced with Orb of Slow, 5 damage, 325 gold. Orb of Slow has a chance to proc on units and heroes, and it also applies attack speed and movement speed slow, and it stacks with slow, and it's undispellable. Okay, Flame Strike now costs 10 mana less at any level. Oh! Wait. Oh! Only this is removed. So the range doesn't go down from 600 to 500. The range remains at 600, but it breaks at 700 instead of 800. Ah, okay, that's good. That's a good middle way. I think that helps a lot. It felt freakishly far away that you actually had to walk. That seems fair. I like that they're not destroying Pala Rifle or Blood Mage, and they're even giving something fun back in return. But dealing with it in really small steps. I like it. It might still be strong, by the way, the build. With 5.5 seconds cooldown Holy Light and Siphon break range -100. But they addressed 3 things in small ways. Banish, Siphon and Holy Light. I think it's good. Very small ways. Good. Good change. Militia armor and then the defense changes. Slow a little shorter, invis further, heal further. This is a big buff. Nerf. Okay. I don't think this dumpster's human. They get some cool fun toys. It deals with a problematic strat while making sorceresses a little bit more fun and heal and priests be better and less snipeable. Might promote one base play for human against undead with Archmage, Mounted King, Rifle Priest. I don't know. Not if the undead fast expanded, I guess. Or maybe it will. Well, it depends. We'll see. Human still strong? Yeah, I think human is still strong. Nor should they be made weak, by the way. We don't want one race to be made weak to be punished for some form of perceived or real hegemony during some period of time. Don't want to dumpster things. Baby steps. While having some creative things as well. Can humans still deal with Farseer harass? Barely changes, right? Orb doesn't play into it. This doesn't play into it. 1 armor less on Militia. Defend doesn't really come into play for Farseer harass. Defend is an aggressive option, not defensive. It's a way to push headhunters into the base and to also attack burrows. Nothing changes for Farseer harass, pretty much. Orb of Lightning will do 50 more damage, aka 33%. Mirror image cooldown from 3 to 5. Great Hole build time, -5 seconds. Wind Rider gives 25 less XP, 60 instead of 85. Venom Spears does 75 damage over time instead of 100. Wind Riders are slower by about, what is that, 4%? 10? 3-4% slower. The magic immunes that we talked about for all this stuff. Stasis are now 25 health with magic immune, but smaller and less long stun. And Torrents have resistant skin, but get more expensive. Why did they nerf Wind Rider? Wind Rider Venom Spear is strongest against undead, so this is a change to help undead take less poison damage from Wind Rider tier 3. Wind Rider tier 2 currently don't have much play in any matchup, human, elf or orc. And in those moments, Wind Riders are seen as flying XP tomes, and that's what this is supposed to address, to allow some Wyvern play. But if Wyverns are going to be like really dominant because of it, which I really doubt, because losing Wyverns, even though they give less XP, is still game losing. So, arguably, I would say, okay, real talk. If I'm making Wyverns against human, I'm either winning the game without losing any, or if I lose any, I lose the game. That's pretty much how Wyverns work right now. And it's partially because they are a gargantuan expensive unit that is really fragile and relies on momentum. So you must get 2 new ones every time and then overwhelm someone and take out their anti-air before it can take out you. And if that works, you cheese win. And if it doesn't, there's no future. There's never been a future. So they don't get as many levels from you, which makes maybe 1 or 2 Wyvern feel like more of an okay investment. But I don't think there's going to be Wyvern builds against human or elf because of this. Because losing them is still bad. And now they're slower, which means they're easier to be caught by Rifle, Elegiggle, Mounted King, Archmage, Stormbolt, Dryad, Archer, Hippo, etc. So I think Wyverns overall are getting nerfed, even though this is a buff to Wyvern mass. Ironically, this will help Orc most against Undead, because it's the only matchup where we're making them. Whereas this is against... this is helping Undead against Orc. And this is helping everyone against Orc Wyvern. So I think Wind Riders are going to be garbage. Still, despite this. This Torrents are going to be really good, but very expensive. But really, really good. We're getting closer to Mountain Giant cost now than to... No, that's not true, is it? Almost. Closer to Mountain Giant than to Knight. But resistant skin without upgrade is huge. Torrent could be really good. Orb of Venom damage per tick reduced. Good change. Orb of Venom is broken. Keeper of the Grove strength, they kept it. It's fine. Treant's attack cooldown reduced. Treant's attack faster. Personally, as a Keeper enjoyer, I don't think this is needed. I think Keeper is quite good already. Keeper is strong and weak, not because of these things, in my opinion, but it's strong and weak depending on whether enemies will get Dispel early enough. That's what it comes down to, in my opinion. Wisp lumber gather, they're gonna stick to this. So wisps will gather 15% more lumber the entire game, which is gonna give you like 100 or 150 bonus lumber during your tech to tier 2. It's big. This is gonna buff elf a lot. For me, it was hardest to get my elf to 2200 MMR from the 4 races. My main is orc. Human and undead, it was really easy. For elf, I struggled. I had to study. For the human undead, I just did it. But I did get it to 2200 now. Does that mean elf is weaker? It's really hard to say. Everyone has their own aptitude. And mine might be more in the orcs and less in the elves. Or more in the human or less in the elves. So I don't know. Upgrade. Moonglaves now changes Hunter's armor type to heavy. This is a very exciting change. This is going to be very, very fun to try to use. Heavy armor Huntresses get dumpster piercing ranged. Could be very map control heavy. Luckily, Ultravision is no longer tier 1, because if this was true, you first dominate with Ultravision in tier 1 and then tier 2 heavy. Exciting. Look, this might be broken. It might be really, really broken. My prediction is that it is. Blizzard's prediction seems to be that it isn't. We'll see. We'll see. I don't mind who's right. I think this is exciting. Chimera movement speed increased by 20. Vorpal Blade upgrade. You know what? This is decent, but I think glaive throwers need one more thing. I think they need to come out maybe 5 seconds faster. They're really slow to produce. Undead. Wand of Negation charges is 4. It's single target. Single target dispel. So, who is this going to help them with most? This doesn't kill a wolf level 1, but it gets it really close. It does less than half damage to a water elemental, but it can be passed back and forth, and it's on a 5-second cooldown. This is pretty good on water elemental and treant and entangle and so on, but it's a tier 2 item, right? I don't know. I've never used this item pretty much. How much does it cost? I think it's 150 for 4 charges that does 4 dispel single target. This is fantastic on Hex. Getting 4 instead of 2. Am I wrong to think that this helps more against Hex than anything else? I think Wand of Negation new effect is on 0-second cooldown. Really? It's 150 gold. Entangle, yes, if they go for it. But I think because of this they don't. But Orc often does go Hex. Regardless, because they have to. And it comes out at tier 2. Which makes it more in line with Ritual Dagger healing more. Frost Nova range reduced. Good. This one, just better. I feel like it was really good already. Carrion Swarm damage more is fine. Dreadlord is a tough hero to make. Because there's so many good choices. Unnecessary, but fine. Burrow faster research time. Okay, cool. That makes Fiends a lot better. 15 seconds faster on Burrow is huge. You could save some units with this. Garg slower. I'm not 100% sure on the theory behind this. I think it's to help Night Elf against Undead. Mostly. It will help Undead against Orc as well. I think that's fine. Honestly, my belief, I think at low to medium level, Undead is the weakest. Then Elf, Orc, even. Then Human. I think, roughly. Undead's hard to play. I'm not sure sometimes which one's better at low to mid level. Elf or Orc. Like, Orcs look really like bozos on low mid level. But then Elves, so many things can go wrong with their economy and Ancient of War creeping that they're also mistake prone at low to mid level. Yep, sounds good, Spell Eater. Almost done. Cripple mana cost, anti-magic shield for Banshees, no longer collision. Yeah, we've seen this. Rain of Fire, range increase, drain life, can now give life to a friendly. I don't think this is going to be meta breaking, but it's quite fun. And then creep changes. Cool. Interesting. April 15th. I think it's exciting. I wonder what the contestants think about it. What do the players of the Grubby Invitational think about it? I wonder. The Warcraft Streamer Invitational. I think it's cool. Throw them into the fire. Throw them into the arena with new changes. Are they even aware? I think they're going to be aware. Do you know if all these changes will go live as they are? No, it's just new changes in the build. They didn't say it's... Look, they said it's a work in progress and subject to change, so it's not guaranteed. They want you guys to test. I know most of you are not going to do it, but I'm going to try and make a big step in it by showing some changes tomorrow together with Knopf. We're going to do some PTR matches tomorrow. Okay, cool. I will take a 1-minute leg stretcher, and then I'm going to coach Churin. This patch will screw up contestants' prep. Most of what they will learn is fully transferable to the new patch. These are like little minutia. Nobody practiced with Orb of Fire yet, so it's fine. Damn, now my builds aren't viable anymore. Aw, the Viper. Gonna have to go back to the drawing board. I'll try to help you with it tomorrow.